Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to talk about Shankara Buildpro from 2000 to 400 and now what needs to be done. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position to any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Before I talk about Shankara Buildpro, here's a small request that kindly support me on Patreon, and once you do that, it will help me grow the channel. You have to also ask me questions in greater detail. Once you get the $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio, my watch list, and a number of podcasts that I put up from time to time. Also, for detailed market or company talk, you can directly email me and we can work things out. And if you can pay $100 straight away, then you can get 1 year subscription with a 25% discount. Now about the company, Shankara Buildpro was established in 97 and they provide tiles and specialty building materials. They also provide roof sheets, steel pipes and tubes. So there's a small segment, 3-4% of the business that is into steel pipes and tubes as well. Had a stellar IPO when it came out with IPO 3 years back, but after that the stock has declined sharply. It has been serving leading clients across India. If you look at the financials, and these are Q3 numbers, and sales dipped by 20%, but what stood out and looks like that things are turning around is that profit grew by around 83%. So the numbers for you can say December quarter was pretty good compared to December quarter of last year, and the growth has been of over 80%. There has been reduction of debt. High promoter and institutional holding is there, and only 15% free float is there. But what is standing out in this sort of numbers is that although sales have dipped and sales have not done that greatly well, but profit has increased significantly, which means that first of all lower taxes has also helped, plus the fact that operational efficiency has come into being and raw material cost etc although is in the rising field, but after their negotiations of you can say fixed raw material cost for certain kind of products, that has also helped boost up the numbers, plus employee cost has reduced and other costs have reduced. So what turned out to be on the sales front a very negative quarter, but bottom line has increased sharply. Return on equity is improving around 8%, but should improve to mid-teens by next year. Operating profit margin is at 6%, which is not great but should improve going forward. If you look at the performance, then exceptional growth in FY18, and it was in 17-18 that the IPO came out, and it was a stellar IPO that just blasted off the roof and went to 2000 rupees. Had great potential as a business, but it dived down as economic, you can say, reality set in, and the numbers really did not quite match. So what happened is although numbers right now do not tell the whole story as to what went on in the last 3 years. Numbers dipped sharply. In fact, in the fag end of FY20, they went into losses. So all that ended up, what it ended up to be is that the investors lost hope in the stock, and really lost patience with the stock, and went ahead and probably invested into other sectors. So whole sector was under pressure, not that the only this company was under pressure. Last year has been, except for the last quarter, the last year has been extremely bad, but things are turning around and it looks like on the ground things are moving, whether it is about construction, real estate, and so building material products companies are doing well. House improvement companies are doing well, and they are producing very good numbers year on year, and it looks like for the next couple of years the numbers are set to be pretty strong. So on that basis, the company is trading at very attractive valuations even at this point of time, and when I'll discuss technicals, you'll understand that the stock is on a cusp of a major breakout here. So, what were the reasons for the crash of the stock? First of all, subdued growth in the past 3 years from FY18 till FY21, or you can say half of FY21. Things really did not go well, at least in the first half of FY21, especially during 18 and 20 period, the 3 years period, the stock crashed, the growth crashed, the numbers were not there, and stock quite evidently and quite rightly fell from 2000 to 400, even 300 levels, and then the recovery began. So the numbers were not there. Slowing down of the economy also did not help. The Indian economy did not do that well, and eventually the company had to suffer the consequences of that. In fact, the whole sector suffered at that point of time. Plus, the company was under a high level of debt. So, what happened was, as growth was not coming in and profits were not coming in, they were not able to pay the debt that greatly, and interest burden was always there, and it kept on increasing. But once the numbers are coming in, I'm pretty confident over the next couple of years they are going to pay the debt. The debt is reducing, and probably interest would be under control, and the debt burden would be under control, and things would move swiftly. And that's why the resurgent in the stock that has taken place. The lockdown and current shutdown had not helped, especially last year when it happened between April and June. It was a total, you can say, businesses totally stalled, completely stalled all across the industries. But this time around, with localized shutdowns of industry and unlocking of the businesses now taking place, things are set to improve for the first quarter and the second quarter. The numbers are going to be remarkably better than what we have seen probably last year, and that is why there has been a lot of activity in the stock. So low cash and high on credit kind of a business that is taking place, it could turn around very quickly once things improve. So things are starting to turn around. We have to look at what the market is looking at, and that is in the future. In the past, for the stock crash, what has happened, I have just told you that economy slowed down and the businesses did not do that well when economy was firmly opened up. So it will take a couple of years. I think the next 2 years, because of the base effect, the numbers are set to be pretty good, and that is where the stock may just surge from here. Even from these levels, the stock could move much higher before it could consolidate and decline. So on a very long term basis, I'm not very positive, but on a 1 to 2 year basis, this stock could perform very well. On a 5 year basis, this may not perform that well. If you look at the technicals now, this is where the things are changing. So strong long-term support is around 400 levels. 390, 400 was a huge resistance when we looked probably a year back when I made the presentation. Now it has crossed that 390, 400 level just recently. It's at 470 odd. About a month back it crossed that. I don't think it will fall below 300. If somebody has the gumption and a risk appetite, can buy at these levels and on declines to 370, 380 with a deeper stop loss at 300, we could see 580, 600, 630 on the stock in a year time or so. So a 50% upside in 1 year or 18 months is very much possible. It looks now strong on chart, stable on chart, and there could be consolidation here. So if you buy incrementally, but I think the longer term stop loss could be 400. And if there is if there is a major fall in the market and the stock goes to 370, 380, it will be a buying opportunity rather than a selling opportunity, because it has crossed the 390, 400 levels and stayed above it. So in my opinion, can buy incrementally now and on major declines. I think 400 on a shorter term basis will hold on. But even if that falls, you can buy at 370, 380 and have less than 5% exposure into such stocks. So this was a video on Shankara Buildpro. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you can get my videos straight away when I post it, and kindly support me on Patreon. Thank you.